Hello and welcome to Universal Love Law. Today I wanted to make a video for all of you Scorpio risings, okay? So if you see me looking over, that's just because I want to make sure I get the houses right when I break down the video, because I'm not a Scorpio rising, so my son is, and I know of a few. Like, I've been around Scorpio risings, and so I've been able to personally observe them. I did the Pisces rising video, and so I was like, let me just go in order by the elements. So, yeah, let's jump on in with this one, okay? Please excuse any noise that you might hear in the background. So first and foremost, remember Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancers are the water elements. So anyone with the watery first house is going to project their self as someone that is intense in any way, okay? They're going to have strong pulls and kind of tides, like the ocean, right? So people who are Scorpio risings, and what kind of sets the tone a little different for them is their demeanor and the way in which they carry themselves, as well as their personal development evolution. Okay, so Scorpio risings, no matter what their sun sign or moon sign is, they're going to come off very reserved and private and a little bit introverted, okay? Even if they're very outgoing social signs like Sagittarius or Libra or Aquarius, um, or Gemini, any Scorpio rising people naturally are going to be introverted or project that kind of persona, that they're private, and they are. This is a personal style of theirs, right? Their personal style, in the way that they carry themselves in the world, because that is what the first house represents, right? It represents our ability to get to connect with others in a subtle way, in a subconscious way, right? It's just the energies that people naturally pick up on when we meet them. So the way we connect with people will really have a strong influence based on our rising. So if you are a Scorpio ascendant, then you will attract people who desire a deep connection and a strong bond, because Scorpio risings automatically give off that kind of alluring personality style. And since it is the first house, it also represents the way we look, even our physical features. So Scorpio risings might have a very intense stare, okay? I know this because, and they can project that. I have known a lot of them. Even my son, he had me like, look at my little Scorpio rising baby. There's this very intense look that they can give. It's like a death stare, okay? Sometimes if you just glance over at a Scorpio rising, they might be looking really intense. And then you'll be like, you okay? And they be like, yeah, like, and they don't realize that they can come off that way visibly, right? Even if they maybe just, you know, just enjoying themselves, right? They can give off that kind of look. Now, Pisces rising also give off a look of aloofness, right? So there's this dreamy, daydreaming kind of look. I'm a Pisces rising, so I do it often. But Scorpio risings, which are also water signs, give off an intense face, even when they're just relaxing. Okay? But it is their personality, look, and style. So sometimes Scorpio rising, might often think that they are mainly that aspect of themselves, and they may speak that way, right? You may hear them saying like, I just don't open up to people, right? Even if they're like full of air elements or fire elements. A Scorpio rising is going to always project and even state for the record that I don't let everyone in. And that's a good thing. I feel that all the Scorpio risings that I know, they are very loyal, right? Um, and they're not easy to kind of get close to. They're very private and secretive, and this is their personality style. So it's not just the physical feature; it's also their style. So Scorpio's ruled by Pluto. So you will want to see where Pluto is in the chart, because that will really help you to see where your personality will be kind of expressed at the most. Okay? As well as Mars energy, but I say Pluto. Pluto is so Scorpio, right? And so another thing about Scorpio risings are they value friendships, and this comes from their fourth house energy, right? So looking at my wheel, I know that the fourth house is an Aquarius in the Scorpio rising, because just knowing my sun's chart and like understanding that whole detachment in the home or with the mother kind of sense. So Scorpio risings, their second house of course would be the energy of Sagittarius. So anyone that you meet that's a Scorpio rising, they might travel a lot, even by force, maybe having to commute long distance in their early childhood upbringings, or just being born in a family where they may be born in a family where their family's not from where they settle, and they have to travel a lot, or they have traveling parents, right, that just always move around with them, or they have opportunities to travel through school events or through some type of church or something, right? Either way it goes, the second house being Sagittarius, unless there's an um, interception, if you're using Placidus, Scorpio risings usually value traveling and learning other cultures. They really like to understand the world and the psychology of people on a level where they're learning, like a learning, because that is Sagittarius, right? The teacher, the learner, the student, and the teacher, right? And the second house being your house of values, right? And your self-esteem. You grow a lot, and you understand more about yourself when you can see the difference between you in a opposition to some other culture or foreign thing, foreign land, foreign place. You're very big on understanding psychology of life. Scorpio risings are very intelligent people, okay? Their challenge comes from their seventh house, okay? Balancing out the material wealth or the relationships with others based on that Taurus energy, right? Even physically possessing others, or not just physically possessing others, but attracting possessive people. Okay, we're gonna move into that when we get in the seventh house energy, but overall, the second house will give the Scorpio rising person them the desire to travel, and the desire to learn, and the desire to even learn survival. Like, they're so instinctual. You might even see Scorpio rising people studying nature a lot. Like, they might enjoy studying survival kind of like experiences, or watching like movies or shows based on like how to survive, because they are always in tune with their feelings. The feelings that people kind of project onto them, they're fixed. So they're kind of set in their way and stubborn in who they are, because they are Scorpio risings. They don't, that's fixed water. So they don't like to really be controlled by others. They want to feel like an individual. They want to feel like themselves. And they're, out of all three of the water signs, the ones that are the most detached. Whereas Cancer and Pisces can get convoluted with their emotions and others' emotions and have a challenging time separating the two. The Scorpio rising is different. They're going to definitely be able to always feel like an individual. Like, don't project your feelings on me or your thoughts or your ideas. If I want to study you and learn something from you, I will. If not, don't do that. That's just the nature of the Scorpio rising. They're fixed water. They're stubborn. Fixed means that they're in their own controlled emotional state of being, fixed on it. And anything that tries to gear them off or change that, they won't like it. And they'll show that. These are people who like to show their true emotions, because that is their first house. It's what we're kind of showing through our personality style. So they're the people that can come off a little cold or strong, or even they just don't really hide how they really feel, you know? They're not into that. They're really raw and real in that sense, okay? So let me keep going. The traveling energy comes from the second house, Sagittarius. That's something that they love to do, understanding, differences within themselves and others, and them valuing that, right? Them valuing knowledge, them valuing learning, them valuing life, and appreciating the process of expansion and growing, right? Transforming. Now, when we move forward, we do have the the third house being Capricorn. Okay, so this is their kind of upbringing, their roots, unless there's an interception. Usually Scorpio risings have a very structured and organized upbringing. In their mind, they prefer having going to school the same way every day, or just having a very fixed routine when it comes to going to and from, or just learning information in early childhood education. They may have been very smart and noticed as that. These people are naturally very intelligent, okay? Because they have a lot of common sense. Capricorn third house rule people are going to have common sense. They're practical learners. If you can make it make sense to them, if you can show them how to do it once, they'll get in the routine and they just do what they have to do. Scorpio risings are very responsible in that sense. They do what they have to do. When it's time to play, oh, trust me, they will. When it comes to even just being home, the energy shift and change, right? Because it's Aquarius energy there. So fourth house, Scorpio rising people have Aquarius in the fourth house. So this would give the Scorpio rising parents that are different than the norm. Like, they may have grown up in a home environment where there was a little more freedom and trust. They may have been the ones that the parents either were like, yep, you could do that, you're responsible, go ahead, just didn't have a lot of control and structure, over, them being able to come and go as they please, or go out with their friends and things like that. Having very flexible parents. But when it comes to them, learning and education, they may have had very practical parents in that sense, because that Capricorn third house is the act of them physically, literally going to school, learning, the way they process information, even communicate, right? This is how the Scorpio ascendant person is, right? So when it comes to the fourth house, these people probably enjoy being home alone. When they are alone, they may be very strange and unique and a little quirky, very studious at home, choosing their free time to be learning something or discovering something or putting things together. These people are very helpful in the home. Remember, that is the energy, that is the nature of Aquarius energy. They are it's pure intelligence, it's Uranus energy. So in the home, they may change in mood often, right? They may go from wanting to be around everyone and feeling social to disappeared, awkward, where did they go? I don't know, somewhere in the house. But when they're called upon and needed, they are group kind of people, so they'll be like, okay, it's movie night, let's all watch movies together. They just like home to be kind of lack of emotional chaos. If it's emotional chaos, they will kind of withdraw from that, or dark-sided Scorpio rising people may always be in some mess because their family may be a very big family. They may even have a group home type of settings, or a family that feels like everyone just can come over, everyone's always at the house, and they could pick up on a lot of behaviors that are, shisty or dark-sided, depending on what kind of home environment they're provided. But usually Scorpio rising people, their home's very private. Usually they have parents that don't even really like company at home, but like to be around people, social, right? And that's because the Aquarian energy, fourth house, they're social, but they're the individual in the group. Like, yeah, we're all together, but this is me, my space. This is how I feel. You can feel how you want to feel, even though we're all together, having a lot of conversations, right? Being the type of person in home where you can see everyone's viewpoint and you can also see the greater good. So being a disciplinarian type of person for family is something people might see, because remember, Aquarian energy is co-ruled by Saturn, so it gives that sense of structure. And even though you might have a unique living home environment, right, you may even have the freedom to explore the world and have family members or parents or caregivers that push you out to explore, right? They may either you may have parents that have biases that you look at them and you're like, why do you think like that? That's not okay, Or the total opposite, which are parents that have no biases and everyone's equal. And it really depends on the nature of the parents. Either way it goes, from the fourth house person's perspective, their traditional home upbringing and their traditional, like what is celebrated at home and what is culturally appropriate may be a little uncomfortable for the Scorpio rising. They may like to do things a little untraditional and change the holidays. Like, this year we're not going to celebrate Christmas. How about we celebrate this, right? Just wanting different and unique home experiences. If their family is super religious or super into what they believe in, the Aquarius fourth house person is going to probably rebel against that and want to show their parents or their family members, their siblings, a different way, they also may be the older ones, like they may either be the youngest of the bunch or the oldest of the bunch. Why? Because Saturn rules that third house. Third house deals with siblings. Third house represents siblings, right? So having a Capricorn third house for Scorpio risings make them either the oldest child that have the most responsibilities put on them, and then, or the youngest child that looks up to the older child, to the older siblings, and learn a lot from them. If they are or happen to be a middle child, they may feel like the more responsible one, okay, growing up. So yeah, and this is why them projecting that third house in just the way their demeanor is in their early childhood. Like, third house represents your childhood, and so the way you carry yourself may give the parents may give the Scorpio ascendant person more responsibility because and freedom because of how responsible they are, right? So remember, when I talk about the ascendant, I always like to really focus on the first, the seventh, which is the ascendant and descendant. First house being personality and your own style and sense of self, whereas the seventh house is the other, so the people that we kind of attract to us, okay? And then also I like to get into the fourth house and the 10th house, because this is kind of essentially moving into your early childhood experiences that kind of shape and mold you, and into the 10th house, which is your legacy and kind of the way that you become who you are, right? And what you leave behind, and your reputation, and how people will remember you, okay? So a debilitated 10th house can really mess a person up, but for you guys, we'll get to that, okay? So overall, Aquarius in the fourth house people, you guys have a very unique childhood, and even in adulthood, you may be desiring a home where your partner's like your friend, even though you're very possessive over them. But you really may value untraditional traditions, right? Creating things that maybe you learned about from your job, a new holiday because another culture, and you're like, I want to do that at my house. Fourth house Aquarius people are not really biased to others, right? That second house Sagittarius really opens their mind to understanding that we're all different, and if they like something, they will adapt it into their home tradition and culture, even foods, okay? If they like different kind of foods, they could be a race and cook a whole totally different other race of people's food better than they do their own traditional foods. And so yeah, it's really interesting the way in which the Scorpio ascendant plays out for the fourth house, okay? Now, when we move along to the fifth house, of course, we have their Pisces energy. So these people are very spiritual, and they may like to creatively express themselves. They may have artistic styles. They like to create things, whether it be through their expression and their personality. They want to be different and unique, and they want to bring forth this compassion, okay, in the area of love. They're very compassionate people that just want to share ideas and share their own creative sense of style, right? And merge with others in that way, right? Like, oh, I like this artist, you like this artist, oh my God, this is something we can bond on. And they really can blur the lines in relationships when it comes to their friendships or any form of connecting with another person. They naturally give off this charismatic, connecting energy. They when it comes to their fun and lighthearted side, and their ability to connect and joke with others, they can blur the lines on their own identity and yours. If you guys share commonalities, if you guys share similarities and things you both like, that you guys are one in that area. And that's just because Pisces, the higher archetype of Pisces is the oneness, okay, and connecting literally on an energetic level. And it deals with disillusion. So these people in relationships can probably, be a little clueless to the reality of a situation if they like someone, and purposely blur the lines and not see things realistically for what they are until they are hurt. So Scorpio ascendants, because the fifth house also represents children. Anything you create, any way and form that you express your inner passion, okay? And so also flirting or love life. The Scorpio ascendant person wants to connect with their partner on a flirtatious or on that kind of level and merge completely. Even their friends, they want to be one with, they really appreciate expressing themselves with others and connecting on that deep level. And it can make a Scorpio ascendant person kind of jaded if they have the wrong influences around them, or the wrong people influencing them. So yeah, it's important. But either way it goes, any Scorpio ascendant is going to have something unique about their expression, whether that be through their personality. Let's say you have Sun in the fifth house. That's going to look a little different than having no planets in the fifth house. Some people have, and that would mean that if you're a Scorpio ascendant, that means that you will have to have a Pisces sun sign to have your sun in the fifth house, unless you have an interception or the degrees off, whatever. That's a little in depth, but either way it goes, your fifth house of self-expression, these people are very creative. They may know how to doodle really good. They may create things with their hands and build things, especially if they have like Uranus in the fifth house. These are people, because remember Uranus deals with intelligence, so they can literally create, if they know how to connect, connect electricity wires together, they could damn near create some technology literally at home. But it really depends on what planets are in your fifth house, because it deals with whatever we create and bring forth to the world. Sixth house deals more with the service that we give, right? I'll get to that. But the fifth house deals with our self-expression from an inward level, from your inner personal skills, and your talents and gifts and what you could really bring to the world, okay, and your self-expression. So either way it goes, these people like to merge and they like to bring, and then Pisces, remember, is Neptune energy, so it deals with artistic ability. So these people can really do their makeup really nice well too, if they feel like it. If they're feeling jazzy, these people have an awesome sense of style, okay, and fashion, like what goes well together. Okay, so let's keep going. Now moving along to your sixth house is Aries in the sixth house for Scorpio rising. So this is going to make a Scorpio ascendant person kind of wanting to do things for others that kind of helps and benefits them. They like equal and fair exchange. They don't want to feel as though they're giving more to something than they are receiving equal. Let me turn this heater off. So if you have your some planets in Aries that is in your sixth house as a Scorpio ascendant, you want to take a look at that, because it's going to give you a different way in which you give to others. Okay, your routine is really mainly about you. You might be very bull, because remember, sixth house deals with our everyday routine. So Aries is the ram, it's the I am. So how they're feeling, that first house Scorpio is reserved, and then on a daily basis you're going to see them expressing who they are and how they feel authentically. And that's just the energy of their sixth house, because it deals with our routines and our daily choices and decisions. So Scorpio ascendants are going to project this type of energy, like, I am feeling happy today, or I'm in a good mood, or I'm not feeling good, I'm feeling reserved. That Scorpio rising is going to really project itself, and people are going to know not to mess with them on that day because Aries is in the sixth house. So, that's how they are on an everyday basis, right? So now they really just project their authentic, true mood, their true mood. Now, moving along, we have their seventh house. Now, this is the very important key point, and I'm gonna try to like fast forward through this because I have to go back to work. So, Scorpio risings, the seventh house is what they attract, the kind of people that they attract to them, okay? So, having a Taurus seventh house means that you're going to attract partners that are probably physically beautiful, that have symmetrical, features, and maybe even inwardly beautiful. You seek beauty in partners, and you also may seek partners that friends, mentors, people that are serious, okay? People that are serious about the relationship with you and show consistency. Because seventh house in Taurus energy is going to be a person that has friends that are consistently around. They like stable, practical people that are reliable, that they can rely on, that could call on for whether it be emotional support or, physical support. These are the type of people Scorpio risings are going to attract, And the Scorpio rising has a depth that will attract Taurus-like people. Taurus-like people being people who value themselves, who have a strong value system, even if it's their culture or their traditions or their home, their roots. They take pride and they value. Scorpio ascendants are going to like people like this, that are serious about what they believe in and about their work ethic. Scorpio ascendant people are going to appreciate hardworking people. Now, dark-sided Scorpio rising people are going to attract someone that they could possess, that they can feel as though they own, and they put a lot of expectations on. And everyone knows in life, never put expectations on anyone. You're always going to be let down. But Scorpio ascendants are going to attract people that they can hold accountable to things, okay? Because Scorpio ascendants like to control things a little bit. And that's just a natural personality style of the Scorpio rising. They're a little controlling, and they're a little bit, micromanagers in a sense, because nothing passes their eye that they don't see, especially when it comes to the people that they're working with, in a sense, like one-on-one, or building any kind of relationship with. Because remember, relationships is about relating, okay? It's a ship that sails, and however long this ship lasts, they're going to want long term. Okay? What is Taurus? The slow, steady bull that, is slow but steady and gets the job done. So these are the type of people they're going to attract. People that are hardworking, people that are beautiful inside and out. Maybe even vanity, dark-sided ascendant. Dang, I can make this video so long. Oh my God. So dark-sided Scorpio rising people can attract vanity, people who are materialistic, people who do not value the soul connection, the deep love and appreciation that you get only from genuine bonds and genuine relating. Scorpio risings that are dark sided will, attract friendships and relationships that look good, okay? That provide them a sense of security materialistically, right? And even not just on a vanity, like a materialistic type of person, but just a Scorpio rising dark sided could attract people who are possessive of them, in a sense like, you belong to me and I expect you to do A, B, C, and D. And if you don't do that, I'm going to have an emotional outburst. Scorpio rising people could be very obsessive, dark-sided wise. And the seventh house energy is what brings it out, the relationships with others. Because they are so intense and in-depth, they can possess their partners. And this deals with marriage as well. So Scorpio ascendant people, once you are with them, you are with them. Do not play with a Scorpio rising person that's in love with you, because now you belong to them. You are theirs. If you're not theirs, they could care less. But if you are theirs, that's that Taurus seventh house where people become physical objects of theirs. Like, that's my person. So don't cross a Scorpio rising person, because now you're going to start to see aspects of their personality that get real dark sided and jaded, and then they go through transformation. So relationships always activate this transformation in them, being let down, because Scorpio ascendants have such a high moral code, and they do not play when it comes to their family, their friends, their mentors, even their teachers, the people they look up to. They don't play about, how we bond and connect. They have boundaries set in place that they want respected, and they have expectations, and this is where they become more and more introverted or reserved throughout life, because they're all about cutting off loose ends. If you cross a Scorpio ascendant, they're never going to forget. And you're going to see it physically, because they're going to, every time they see you, you're going to be like, damn, they do not mess with me, or they look mean, or they don't play. Yeah. People with the Scorpio rising. I'm a Scorpio stellium. You guys know that. My Venus, Mercury, Pluto, Jupiter. I have an 8th house Scorpio stellium, right? So I have a lot of energy in Scorpio. I understand it, and it being affecting your areas of life like this and your personal development, it's really important to be mindful of the people that you have around you, and being obligated and dedicated to relationships that have been served its course. These people will they will overlook red flags, or they will try to control a person and beat them to be who they want them to be, because Taurus doesn't want to let go. The 7th house Scorpio rising people don't want to let go of relationships that have been the lessons already served, but they get so attached. Okay, now I could go on and on, because I love the duality and the opposition of Scorpio Taurus, and in your ascendant I could really break that down, but let's move forward. So after the Taurus 7th house, it moves into your 8th house of possessions, and your Scorpio risings learn that they gain a lot of power and in the world of communications. They may be in a position where they have to communicate in order to get their needs met, or even it could play out so many ways, but it depends. That's why I don't like to stay on certain houses for too long, because it really depends on a person's physical chart. Like, if you have planets in the 8th house, it's going to make you very 8th house kind of person. So, and this is usually people that's born around spring, either Cancer suns. Cancer suns or Gemini suns. Like, they'll have those eighth house energies because a lot of their outer planets will either be Leo, Gemini, or Cancer. In that quadrant, and so the eighth house will really be prominent, and so then you'll see eighth house energies. But um, overall, these people are communicators, and they like to understand many things, not just one focused topic, right? And they know people's business. Scorpio risings, because Gemini is the gossiper, and eighth house deals with things that are hidden and secret. So these people like to explore things that are not their business. Sometimes they just want to know, and they can give this energy off like you could tell them all your business. Like they give you that energy. They give you this deep, intense personality that kind of makes people want to share their personal business with them, or even do things for them financially. And a lot of their give and take is based on communication, right? But we're not going to stay there too long. So then we also have the ninth house is Cancer, which for the Scorpio rising people, Cancer ninth house, this means that they love to learn about their roots. They're very true to their upbringing and their culture, even though they have that Aquarius fourth house, which makes them kind of rebel against traditions. Over time, as they advance and grow and learn, they're very proud of where they come from and what they are. Okay, whether that come from the ghetto, whether that come from another country that they're born in, whether that come from them, having a certain type of life, quality of life, status, right? Like maybe you were born in poverty, maybe you were born middle class, maybe you were born rich. These are the things that the ninth house will reveal to the Scorpio ascendant that they will eventually take pride in, even if they were on the lowest level. Like, they will value those experiences of poverty and what it taught them, or they'll value those experience of being a middle class working family. Like, these are the things that they really value over time. Okay, and then we move into the 10th house. Okay, and so for them, their 10th house is in Leo. And so these people are your managers. Scorpio ascendants will work their way up to being managers, or they will work their way up to a position early in life where they are the star of some type of team, or some way, somehow, they're going to experience what it is to have a position of power. Now, debilitated, especially if you have Chiron in the 10th house, please reach out to me. Just to talk. Like, I need to do a Chiron 10th house breakdown, but especially for you Leos, your pride is here, right? So Scorpio risings, their pride is in the 10th, is in their legacy and their career. And Leos do not play. They are the lions. They're alpha, male or woman. Okay, these people, you don't play with these people because they're silent. They're Scorpio ascendant, so they're reserved and they're silent in any work environment, any home environment. Friendship or school, like let's say high school experience. Like, this is your reputation when it's really growing, right? Or the prime of your life, like in the neighborhood, you might be known as this, or you have born into a family that have this kind of reputation. Whatever it looks like for you, you have your pride here. So if it's debilitating, a lot of squares in this, two planets that are in the 10th house, you will have a hard time dealing with accepting who you are known as, right? But if it's, untouched, no planets, or it's a lot of positive aspects, these people become the CEOs, the bosses, or the ones under the CEOs. These people are able to move up because, remember, in any manager, everyone know, all astrologers know, the managers of the zodiac are freaking Scorpio and Leo and Taurus and Aquarius. Is fixed nature. They're fixed. They're stable. They're able to communicate. They're able to identify the strengths and weaknesses. They're able to micromanage. They're able to take charge. They have a fixed nature, so they're very stubborn and stern. You can't just get over. These aren't the, okay, yeah. If you keep doing that to anybody, and when it comes to that, their reputation is going to be known as someone who does not give a lot of passes. They judge you. They're like the lion. They judge your heart. The lion rules the heart too. So these people are courageous. They're brave. Okay, and they're known to be. The things that they've overcome in life. And if they're athletes, oh my God, these are sharks. Do not mess with the Leo 10th house Scorpio ascendant. They're visibly strong, and they will destroy you and defeat you if you try them. And I know I see it in my son. He's really responsible and smart. And like, I just love it. I see it in a lot of people I know. Shout out to everybody that I know personally, that is Scorpio ascendants, because you guys teach me a lot. Scorpio rising people aspect me a lot because I'm a Scorpio stellium. Okay, we need to keep going because I gotta go to work. Okay, in like 5 minutes. So, moving to the 11th house of their friendships and the groups that they're in. Okay, these people have Virgo in the 11th house. Okay, so they're very picky when it comes to who they hang out with, who they associate themselves with, and they are analytical. Virgo rules the organizer, the the detail orientated individual within the group. So this is someone who can notice flaws within their friends, within themselves, within the work that they do, technical flaws. Because remember, 11th house also deals with technology. So these people on dark side, can be really jaded and use the internet and technology to really get over on people because they're smart enough to do it. They have Virgo there. They know they can think 12 steps ahead. Or on a positive, they can use their discriminating kind of lens to help people achieve their goals, to give advice, to criticize in a healthy way, right? Constructive criticism. These people are helpful and beneficial in that area, right? And then lastly is their 12th house, which is Libra, okay? So these people really may find it hard relating to others and connecting to others on that deep level. That might be something that's hard for them to reach. And if they do reach it, it's a beautiful thing. And when they do reach these deep levels, it's all the purpose of them having relationships with others and growing with others is for them to understand what it truly means to overcome challenges within friendships, within partners, exes. The 12th house deals with our personal undoing, our subconscious mind, and our dream world, our spirituality, our soul, our karmic lessons, our hidden enemies. So these people might have a lot of learning experiences that they have to learn about having balanced and healthy relationships with others. That's a very important theme for them in this lifetime. Because they are so deep, it makes them persona wise, right? This is what they project, so this is what they attract. And it can make them move into under not it can make them move into the dark side of Scorpio energy, which is its opposite, being super possessive and controlling and fearful, fear-based, and paranoid. And that is the darker nature of Scorpio, and not trusting. Relationships are the theme for these people in this lifetime because the 7th house deals with our personal relationships that we develop with others. That's the Libra, energy. Relating to another person. And for these people, they learn subconscious lessons in life, soul lessons through relating with others and connecting to others. Because what they seek in others, they have to find in themselves, and they have to learn to be balanced. They can learn a lot. The duality between the 6th and the 12th house is so important because the 6th house deals with what we're consciously aware of. They're very consciously aware of themselves, right? Because they're Aries 6th house, the I am, on a daily basis. How am I feeling today? What do I want to eat today? Oh no, I don't want to eat that. Y'all go without me. What do I want to wear today? No, I don't want to wear that because it's all about me consciously. This is what they're consciously aware of, right? Whereas they're subconsciously, it deals with their fears and their worries and the subconscious belief systems. Subconscious mind is our beliefs, our core beliefs. And for the Scorpio rising, they have their limited belief systems centered around relationships, and it can create fear of opening up, fear of connecting. But their greatest fear could be their greatest desire, which is to connect on a level that is hard to reach on earth. Earth is a school. It's hard to experience connecting with a person on that level, you know, because people come with their own personal traumas, and we mirror each other. And it's not your fault, Scorpio rising, that you can't find what you seek, right? That deep connection and someone accepting you fully and being free to immerse with another person and lose yourself in that person. It's scary. These people are reserved and have boundaries that are set in place, and they like practicality and common sense people and predictable outcomes. But in their deepest mind, subconscious mind, they have a lot of fears associated with connecting with others and opening up to others and being vulnerable. And so that's where they are learning in this life on a subconscious level how to have power and to be powerful, but not use your power as a shield and block yourself from opening up and being vulnerable. That is the beautiful thing about Scorpio. They're power driven. They'll make it to the top if, they don't overindulge in their darker natures or lower natures, right? And their selfishness and their fear. Because fear is a major thing for Scorpionic people. They could fear their own power. They can fear their own inner depths, right? That they want to so badly express and touch bases with. But nope, I don't want to lose myself in love again. I don't want to lose myself in, you know, being open. I want to just be guarded and powerful and strong. And I want everyone to respect this boundaries that I have. But then deep in your core, you want to be the opposite. You want to be vulnerable. You want to connect soul to soul. That's Libra in the 12th house. Understanding those lessons. And it's hidden enemies. So, you may have a very bad hidden enemy with your first lover or second lover or one of your lovers. Or maybe with a cheating relationship, right? Where the person, where the enemy is the person that your partner cheated with or something. Like, it always deals with some type of relationship dynamic. My ex was a Scorpio ascendant, and he had a lot of learning lessons in the area of love. He did a lot of crazy things, and his biggest fears was the same thing that drove him toward, like, this biggest fear was the same thing that he was running towards. So he was trying to be powerful in every relationship he had, but he also wanted to be vulnerable. But being vulnerable, he lost his power. So it's a power dynamic struggle in relationships and love. And it's really challenging and it's hard to see. But with the right people who are safe and healed and work on themselves, oh my God, Scorpio risings can reach very deep levels with people, even soul healing lessons, like levels, right? So yeah, Scorpio risings, I hope this video was helpful for you. Tell me what you think about this video in the comments below.